Dow Jones touches all-time highs. Some of the other sectors also hit this week new records. We are still continuing to look at this current situation as a very strong bull market for stocks, and we're not looking to exit, and I'll explain what I mean. We will look at the dollar and gold interplay in some detail today, as well as gold miners which are approaching records. So dollar is could be attempting to bottom, but so far gold has failed to break out in a convincing manner. So I'll try to explain what that means. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. This is what keeps this channel going. If you're a subscriber, stay tuned. We have a very busy video. You can see lots of various securities such as market breadths, crude oil, natural gas, ETFs, large cap stocks, a lot of new additions to the speculative securities such as Topgolf, Callaway, Aurora Cannabis, Biotech, Cleveland-Cliffs, Nuvation, Adidas Medicine, as well as Peloton. And we're going to finish up with some gold related for the members only section. If you're a subscriber, stay tuned, but if you're not yet a subscriber, sign up by going to masterchartstrading.com and click on the sign up. There's several options there. For example, you can get my indicators, which is this green, blue, red, and yellow line. They are available for this interface. It's a free interface called tradingview.com. We are currently looking at the S&P 500 on a daily time frame. So this week we saw an all-time high on Wednesday, just a few days ago. So yesterday and today we did not make a new record, but we're trading basically next to records. So far no changes to our posture. The bull market started right there where I'm hovering, the new bull run where I'm hovering. So it started on 2nd of May of this year. But if you look at where we came from, so this is the bottom here in April, on April 7th to today's highs, we're 33% up. So yes, by all definitions, we are definitely overextended, but we are still in a bull market. So what bull market means is that we are continuing upwards. There is no change. There is no topping pattern that we can even remotely point to, and this bull market will continue until we see yet another close below the yellow line. So as in, for example, we had right there in April of this year, on 4th of April. So that was a short-term entry into bear market, which lasted literally about a month, and we saw a new breakout. So if or when we turn around, let's just say we collapse today, not impossible but unlikely, and we drop 20% towards the yellow line, that would be beginning of a bear market. But this is extremely unlikely to happen unless something horrible happens. But in that case, most likely the markets will just close. So for now, again, no changes to our posture. We are seeing strong uptrend for the stock market in general, and for many stocks in particular, which we are indeed trading. So notice, for example, this week we'll be covering large cap stocks, and you can see there's very common names like Apple, Amgen, Honeywell, Intel, interestingly enough, Verizon, Nike, Pfizer, Coca-Cola, big names. So yeah, they're all still doing quite well, and we are definitely trading them. Dow Jones Industrial Average on Friday hit all-time highs. So this is a record high. We have never been here, and same with the S&P 500. The Dow moved not as much, 23% only. Whereas S&P actually moved a significant amount from the bottom, 33%. So quite a big move for S&P. Dow Jones also pretty good, but now we're again at records, so no changes there as well. Let's switch gears. We're currently looking at the US dollar. So we do care about the US dollar because we do trade gold and gold related stocks, and right now, so there is a possibility that we're making higher highs and higher lows. So I'm just gonna kind of try and show you what I mean there. So notice this low on the 1st of July, then a second low on the 23rd of July, and yet again another low just a few days ago on the 13th of August. And you can see that it is a series of higher lows. Okay, so technically speaking, we are making higher lows, and sometimes this leads to a bottoming pattern. So right this instant we're seeing resistance at the yellow support resistance line. So notice this line where I'm hovering right now, that's one of my indicator lines for master charts trading, and notice that we did hit it on the mid-July. Then in late July we actually burst above it but completely sold off, and then again tried to recapture it, but right there on the 11th of August actually we kind of made a high, but we closed below it. So that's definitely a sign of resistance. So far we're seeing sign of resistance at the yellow line for the dollar. However, we're seeing higher highs and higher lows for that same security. Why do I care? Because, well, I mean, we can look at gold futures, which technically speaking did make a new record here on the 8th of August. Weirdly enough, though, the Forex instrument XAU divided by USD did not show an all-time high on that same date. So who do I believe? I guess the futures are much more accurate. So the way I'm looking at gold right now, notice that theoretically speaking we're making lower highs. Okay. So whereas dollar is making higher lows, gold is actually making lower highs, at the very least on this chart. If we look at the GC 1 exclamation point with the gold futures, that's a little bit different chart. So if we look at this chart, the XAU divided by USD from FX spot market, we can see lower lows and lower high, and right now we actually again are retesting this green support resistance line, and so far it has held. But if dollar continues higher, then maybe gold will turn around. So we're watching this very closely for any signs of failure on the part of gold. Gold miners, on the other hand, actually made fresh 24-year plus records, and are within a spitting distance of the all-time highs. Literally, like there's a few cents. So like we closed here, we had a high of 58.77 and 58.81 actually, and I think the all-time high is at like 51.90. So very close. We're seeing 58.90 rather. We're watching this again very closely, and if or when we see a breakout to new records, most likely gold will continue higher. Although we see a somewhat of a divergent market right now. So what do you guys think? Make a comment. Are we seeing like higher lows on that dollar? Does that matter? Do you think we will make? Do you think gold will break down or actually break to new all-time highs? So very interesting situation. Make a comment. In our members-only section, we see a few gold-related. For example, Equinox Gold actually made a very nice move just recently. Alert was sent right there on the 4th of August, and it was sent at $6.38. We went as high as $8.09, a 27% move for Equinox Gold. If you opened Equinox Gold recently, congratulations. If you haven't yet opened Equinox Gold or want to sign up for one of my services, head over to masterchartstrading.com. So again, I have the trading indicators, which are these lines on the chart. And how do I use the lines? So for example, this trade for Equinox Gold, basically, I more or less remove my brain and just look at when we closed above the blue line. So you can see this upward facing arrows. We basically closed above the blue line. This was actual alerts, and that's all we need to really know when to buy. So you can have the same lines on your chart. This is the trading indicators available for tradingview.com. You only need a free TradingView account. Once you have a free TradingView account, send me a message and I will open the door for you once you're signed up for my indicators. The newsletters are also available, so I send out daily alerts and members only videos on a weekly basis. So this week again we'll cover a lot of various securities, ETFs, as well as market breadths, crude oil, natural gas, large cap stocks, some of the speculative securities, including some of the cannabis related ones, as well as gold related. And I think the best deal is to get both trading indicators and newsletters, and of course the best deal of that versus the monthly subscription is to get a yearly subscription where you get 2 months free compared to your monthly subscription. For all of the subscriptions, you get free 7-day trial, so you have time to check it out and cancel if you don't like it. That's it for this week's recap. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching and have another great trading week. Bye-bye.